Hello and welcome to volume 61 of My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and I'm glad to have you along for the ride. It's Taco Tuesday. Got up early this morning and took a shower, did some things around the house I needed to do, and then skedaddled on over to Goodwill, dropped off some items at Goodwill, and then shook my tail feathers over to Costco. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but if you're over 60 or immune compromised, you can go to Costco at 9 o'clock in the morning. They open at 10 for everybody else, but you can go at 9 if you fit those categories. And since I'm 60, I fit that category. So it makes it kind of nice, hardly anybody in there, nobody in line when you check out, and it's great. So still no cleaning pads, what do they call those, Clorox wipes. Don't know if we'll ever see those in there again, but if you're looking for toilet paper or paper towels or nuts, they have everything else. I actually just found something cool over there that I didn't know existed though. I drink almond milk and they sell it in a case, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated until you open it. And it's good until September of 2021. And they're like little, they're probably quarts, and so you can just keep them in the garage, and then rather than buying a whole gallon, because I don't drink much of it, but every once in a while I like to have a bowl of cereal or maybe dunk a cookie or two, and so it seems like kind of an easy way to go. But anyways, enough about that. Yesterday Tom and I were talking about the phrase that a lot of people use is when they find out you have prostate cancer is, oh, you got the good cancer. And I guess a lot of people feel that way because the survival rate is pretty good. And I'm going to look away from you because I have my computer screen over here, and I've got the information, and this is from the American Cancer Society themselves. It says there's about 191,930 new cases of prostate cancer every year. Bad part, about 33,330 deaths from prostate cancer. So that's a lot. That's a lot of guys. About 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. And it says that it's more likely to develop in older men and in African American men. About 6 cases in 10 are diagnosed in men who are 65 or older. And it says it's very rare for men under 40. The average age is about 66. So weird. I don't fit into really any of those categories. And yet, here I am. American Cancer Society also says that about 1 in 41 men this year will die of prostate cancer. There's about 3.1 million men in the United States that have been diagnosed with prostate cancer at some point who are still alive. So a lot of it depends on what they tell you when you're diagnosed. Because as Tom and I were talking about, you have your biopsy and they take the 12 little, they call them cores, and as long as they can give you the lidocaine and deaden your prostate, it's mildly uncomfortable according to the materials, the little pamphlet that you get. But they go through this and they figure out, do you have cancer? If you have cancer, what stage is your cancer? And then what is your Gleason score? And to tell you the truth, I'm not even going to pretend to be able to explain to you what the Gleason score is. It's like a magic number. There's a lot involved in what that is. But I do understand the stage part of it. Stage 4 being the worst, and mine was stage 3. And then what they need to find out once they've determined that you do indeed have cancer is they need to find out if it's metastasized. And I think that's where part of the confusion comes in when people say, oh, you have the good cancer. If it's just in your prostate, then yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. And for me, that's where I'm at. Mine did not metastasize. Tom, who's on here with me, his metastasized. Jack, who you met yesterday, his metastasized, and he has quite a bit. So the more cancer you have, the worse it is to fight, the harder it is to fight. And so I'm in the situation where mine did not spread. I don't have it in my bones. It's not on my lymph nodes. That's all according to the last scan that they did on me, the MRI with contrast. since we're all three of the three that Jack and Tom and myself, we've all finished our radiation. So now we've got to track it by our PSA numbers, and that'll be done through blood tests, and we'll find out from that if it stays level or it drops. Then happy days, we're good. If it rises, then it means the radiation didn't work or didn't work well enough, and so time to move on to what I believe to be harder treatment, which would be chemotherapy. Not looking forward to that. So when it's spread to the rest of your body, or you have it in your bones or something like that, then yeah, it's not the good kind of cancer. So I think it's just people just don't understand what it is, and maybe it's easier for them to say that because they think a lot of people, which a lot of guys do survive. Personally, I know just since I was diagnosed and through people that are on Facebook, a lot of them are friends of mine. I had no idea that they had gone through prostate cancer. I mean, it was amazing. Everybody started hitting me up and I'm like, dude, I went through it. You're going to be all right. And I do appreciate knowing that these guys survived it. It still doesn't take the fear out of it. Now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, did it work? But I'm not going to know for a while. It's not like I just go down and get a blood test and then they look at it and they go, oh, Mr. Graves, you're good. 5 days after having it done. It doesn't work that way. The PSA, because I don't go back and see my radiation oncologist until the beginning of November, like the 8th of November or something. So a week before that, I'll have my first PSA, but that's going to be like a baseline. And then we'll find, I want to say we do it every 3 months after that, and then, to tell us whether it's going up or going down. So this is going to take a little while to find out. And I'll be honest with you, I'm scared to death. After going through all the radiation and everything, if I find out it didn't work, man, gonna be bummed. But time, there's still more to do. Apologize for the eye. It's in the afternoon. This is what I look like every afternoon. I walk around yawning. My brother-in-law was just here a little while ago. I was trying to carry on a conversation with him, and I apologize because I know it's got to get annoying. Every couple of minutes, big old yawn. Plus, it's contagious, and he started yawning. So I always wonder too. And do me a favor, leave a note in the comment section below if when I'm yawning like this on the videos, if it's contagious for you. If you find that you're like, oh, yawning too. Or you can always make the drink game out of it. Take a shot every time I yawn. But anyways, it's going to be a long wait to find out if it worked. So yeah, it's going to be a little spooky. But I guess the point I wanted to make is it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, you got the good cancer. Feel free to talk to anybody that's got prostate cancer. It seems like some people are nervous about it, like they don't know what to say. We're not any different than we were before we got diagnosed with cancer. We're still the same person. We just have a deadly tumor inside our body. So just whatever you talked to us before about, talk to us about it now. It's just the same thing. So don't feel weird. Don't feel like you can't talk to us. We're fine. We're not going to fall apart. Now, granted, sometimes if you talk to us about, your dog got hit by a car or something like that, we might break down crying, but a lot of that has to do with the hormone treatments that we're on, because that's what it does to us, like male menopause. So, if you know somebody that's got prostate cancer, don't feel like you got to treat them any differently than you would any other way. And a lot of times you would never know unless they told you. You can't see it on the outside. Obviously if it's your really close friends or your family, they're going to notice because it changes. Time to take a shot. The treatment changes how you act. And one of the points I wanted to get back to real quick before the end of the video is on prostate cancer too. One of the things they do is nothing. And a lot of doctors will just look at it and they say, okay, Your PSA has risen, but maybe they draw 12 cores from your prostate, and only 2 of them are, in the Gleason scale. They may choose just to watch. And there's millions of men that have prostate cancer in their body, and they're just watching. They go to the doctors every 3 months and look at their PSA again and decide what to do from there. And if it stays flat, some of these guys, 20 years they've been doing this and they have it in there. My personal makeup, the way I'm made, I want it out of there. I mean, it just freaks me out to, even now, and it's been a year and a half that I've known that I have cancer. I just want it out of there. It was so hard for me to understand why they couldn't operate when I first found out I had it, but then they said it's too big. Logistically we can't do it without damaging the other organs around it, the tissues around it, your bladder, your rectum, that kind of stuff. You have to have a colostomy bag. Just too much stuff, could go wrong if we did that. So we chose not to do that, and here I am now doing the radiation, and I'm still not sure that what damage we did to surrounding tissues in there, or if it worked. So like I said earlier, it's going to be a while before I find out. So that part sucks, but I can't change it, right? There's nothing I can do. I can't fast forward. I can't hide in a hole until I find out. I just got to grin and bear it, just wait until I find out. So that's what it is. But anyways, feel free to talk to anybody that's, that's got prostate cancer. And I guarantee you they would rather talk about it than not. Now, I can't say that for everybody, but the vast majority of people I know that have prostate cancer don't mind talking about it, and if you do have prostate cancer, feel free to join in. Put a comment below, or get a hold of me on here, and I'll send you an invitation to the prostate cancer support page on Facebook. Oh my gosh, what a lifesaver. There are some angels on there, and everybody is sharing their experiences. I don't think I've seen anybody give a snide remark or a bad comment. There's no politics on there. There's just people talking about their stories, and guys aren't afraid to come out and say, hey, this is what happened to me. There's so far no doctors on there offering advice, which I don't know that I would want Facebook doctor advice anyway, but people answer questions about how it affected them, and that's kind of what I do with this channel. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you what my experiences were, and Tom will tell you what his experiences were, and Jack later this week or next week, he'll tell you what his experiences were, and maybe that'll help ease your nerves a little bit if you're going into radiation or continuing on with what you have. I really hope and I pray that at some point in this video vlog I'm not going to be telling you how my chemotherapy went, because I don't want to do chemotherapy. I'm not joking. I'm scared. I'm physically scared. I do not want to do chemo. I had a hard time with radiation, and I know what chemo is. I've talked to the doctor, and he's told me what it's going to be like. I'll do it. I mean, what's my options? If they tell me I have to do it, I'll do it. But man, I don't want to do it. So that's why I ask. If you guys want to offer a prayer, if you want to send good vibes, you want to send good juju, shaka, aloha, whatever you want to send, I appreciate it. And I always say every prayer counts. Every good thought counts, and it does. I'm soaking them all in like a sponge and taking advantage of every one, because I want to beat this. I want to kill this cancer and get it out of me, and I'm really hoping that that's what happened, that the radiation worked, but there's always that chance that it didn't. So thank you guys for being there, for supporting the channel. If you do me a favor, if you like the video, then hit the like button, subscribe to it, share it. The more interaction we get, the more comments, the more shares, the more times you hit it, then it moves up the algorithm and more people can find it. And that's what I would like to get is more guys that have prostate cancer, or PC, if you abbreviate it, So if you hear me say PC, I'm not talking about political correctness. I'm talking about prostate cancer. You know, to reach more guys that have it. But I appreciate each and every one of you that watch these videos and comment and everything else. So I'm not sure. I said at the beginning of this it was going to be a short one, but if I did, I really apologize. I got to start doing these earlier in the day, because later in the day, I'm just like a drunk guy. I just, you know, just keep yakking. But I love you all, and I'll be back on here tomorrow, and we'll talk again then, okay?